What up, what up, what up? It's the PAC, man. All things physician assistant. In this video, I want to talk about the top 3 highest PA like sectors or specialties in my own personal opinion, right? Based off of all the PAs that I know. And I'm in close communication with all of my classmates and previous cohorts and most recent cohorts, and I'm seeing where everyone's kind of landing. And I asked the real question, man, how much you making, man? Because you're not gonna offend me. You know, we're both PAs, we're both in the, you know, we're both making good money. So just give me the facts, man. Let me know. Like, just let me know how much you're making so I know. I'm trying to do research here. I want to know more about the profession. And so in my personal opinion, the top 3 in no particular order are as follows. Number 1 is psych. And the reason why I've learned that psych pays well is because what allows a physician to pay a PA well is their ability to get reimbursement for services. So if the hospital pays the PA well, it's because the insurance reimbursed the practice well. And what I mean by that is, in the world of psych, you can't prove or disprove what the patient is going through. And so it's not like if a patient comes into family medicine, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of congested, I'm getting over it. I'm not getting over it, I'm still sick, but sinus infection. Either way, man, like let's say in family medicine, someone says, I have a fever. Okay, subjectively they feel warm. Objectively, I use a thermometer. I could prove or disprove that. But in the world of psych, I'm hearing voices. I'm seeing things that aren't there. I feel depressed. I feel anxious. I get nervous around a lot of people. I'm afraid of spiders. You can't prove or disprove any of that. So that allows for better reimbursement. Like, the insurance reimbursement floodgates are much more open than they would be in primary care, for instance. And that type of reimbursement means the practice is doing very well, which means they can afford to pay the mid-level very well. That's number 1. Number 2, derm, and not any derm, but derm with an aesthetic component. So if they do Botox, fillers, etc., like that reimbursed well. For the most part, the reason why it's in my top 3 is because of one particular friend of mine who makes baseline 6-figure salary, and it was their first year in derm, and they said, hey, you know, at the end of the year, you'll get a productivity bonus based off of the amount of fillers or Botox that you were able to perform. And the first year we spoke, I said, how was year 1? And they're like, you know, you'll believe it, my bonus was like 70 grand. I was like, what? That's the bonus. You already make 6 figures. And that was your first year. Like, I'm imagining you weren't that fast. Now that you're getting more established and word of mouth and repeat clients, and I can't imagine what next year's bonus is gonna look like. So I'm like, wow, that just made my top 3. That's just stuff you don't know. Nobody says. And so that's 1. And number 3 is the ER. ER is always in the top 3. The ER in general pays well. Typical ER pays $80 to $100 an hour. And $100 an hour, man, it's a 12-hour shift. We're talking about $1,200 a shift. That's hard to compete with in any other PA profession. And like in any other sector. That's just raw. You don't need the productivity bonus. You don't need to prove or disprove anything. That's just baseline pay. We're talking, let's say at $100 an hour, we're talking $1,200 a shift. You're only really required to give them 12 shifts per month. That means you're off for like 18, 19 days a month. You just graduated, you're hungry. Who needs 20 days off? Like, you take 2 days off like most Americans, and you get out there and you grind. Imagine you start plowing through 5 shifts a week because you're hungry. Talking about $6,000 a week, hungry like that, man, that's high paid for sure. Now, the ER obviously is very difficult to get into. So is derm, by the way. The ER is very hard to get into, so it's always highly recommended to consider a residency program. An alternative to a residency program is get hired in a hospital in a rural area. Like if you're willing to relocate, go out to the boonies, I don't know, somewhere in Picayune, Mississippi, and you just be the provider at that ER. You'll probably be the only provider in the hospital, or one of the only ones, and you just go do your thing, man. Come back in a year or two with experience, and every ER door will forever be open to you, and that's it, man. And I think that's those are my top 3. If anybody has anything they want to add or share to it, feel free, man. I'm curious to find out. I love to research my own profession. I love the data. It's all pretty cool, man. This is a super cool profession. I'm learning more and more every day. But with that being said, man, I hope this video reaches whoever it needed to reach. And if anybody has any videos they want to hear about, if I know it, I'll put it up. If you don't see the video, just know I read all messages, man. They show up on my phone like text, like a text message. So if I see your video, you want to see something, no problem, man. I'll put it up if I know it. If I don't know it, I don't want to fake like I know it. So anyways, love you guys, man. Stay up.